My name is Mr. Cooley, and I am the teacher for the 5th and 6th grade classes at Cardinal Pacelli's CCD program. And I understand that you're learning about the 4 vocations. You got to remember that vocation is all about listening to God's will for our life. Mrs. Daly asked me to talk to you a little bit about the vocation of marriage. Do you want to know a neat way we can tell that marriage is a very important part of God's plan? We read about marriage both at the very beginning of the Bible and at the very end of the Bible. In the very beginning, in the book of Genesis, the first book, we read about the marriage of Adam and Eve, our first parents. We see that marriage is a gift from God, and that we weren't made to be alone. God created us male and female, complementary, so that we could give of ourselves as a total gift to another and to help each other get to heaven. And then at the end of the Bible, in the book of Revelation, we read about the wedding feast of the Lamb. We know that the Lamb is Jesus, and the wedding feast is the goal. It's where we're trying to get to. We also know that during Jesus' life, he elevated natural marriage to the level of a sacrament when he turned water into wine at the wedding at Cana. This means that marriage is a sign of Christ's love for his church, which means it is an unbreakable bond. It is a never-ending love. I want to read for you now the definition that the church gives us for marriage. Now, it's a little hard to understand, so I'll help break it down here in a minute. This is from the Catechism of the Church. Marriage is a lifelong partnership of the whole of life, of mutual and exclusive fidelity, established by mutual consent between a man and a woman, and ordered towards the good of the spouses and the procreation of offspring. So what does all that mean? Marriage is lifelong. It's a partnership. Mutual and exclusive fidelity. It's between a man and a woman, just 2 people forever. Exclusive. They're faithful to each other. They're honest and true to each other. It happens, it's established by a consent. When the man and the woman say, "I do," that's when the sacrament happens. That's when they become married. That is their consent. And it's ordered towards the good of the spouses and the procreation of the offspring. Now, that's a fancy way of saying, what is marriage all about? It's ordered towards. That means this is what marriage is about. It's about the good of the spouses and procreation of offspring. So the number one job of a husband is to help get his wife to heaven. And the number one job of a wife in the vocation of marriage is to help get her husband to heaven. Now, when a man and a woman get married, all of a sudden, there's something new. There's a family. There's something there that wasn't there before. 2 have become 1. There were 2 individuals, and now there's a family, a marriage. And sometimes, if God blesses them with children, that family grows. And then the responsibility also grows. The husband and the wife not only have to help get each other to heaven, they have to help their children get to heaven as well. And this is a benefit for all of society. And it shows why marriage is very important. And I think I want to close by just telling you a little bit about my life as a married person. I have been very blessed in my marriage. I'm married to my wife, Lindsay, and we've been married for over 11 years, and we have 4 biological children and 1 foster child. So we have a rather large family right now. But just like with any vocation, it's not always easy. And this is when it's important to remember that Jesus has given us the sacraments as a way for us to receive grace, the grace that we need to do what we don't have the strength or the ability to do on our own. And so we take vows. We promise to be good to each other in sickness and health, in times that are good and times that are bad. No matter what happens, we have to be true and faithful to one another, but we don't do it alone. There's always that third person involved, and that's Christ Jesus, who's there helping every step of the way and giving us the grace that we need to live out our married vows.